Absolutely not.
What did it do to you and ALP and your political? Let's talk about this.
We had a relationship with the Unity Party, specifically JMB. I was very close with this man, Stanton. You know this. You visited with him in Delaware a few times when I was there. When I organized, when I brought him to the US. We were very, very close. They started feeding things to him like, oh, if you go back to the States for this, he's going to poison you. He's going to do that. He's going to do that. And they started saying these things to him. And to be honest, he did tell me about some of these things, and I was scared. And I was really scared. He said, people are saying all kinds of things. They're saying, there were too many people just talking, saying terrible things about us, Stanton. I'm human. I felt hurt. Then they stopped talking to us. They were engaging with the Liberty Party. They were engaging with the other allies that they were working with, but they stopped engaging with Ben and I. They stopped engaging with me. Stanton, I started in this house in rehab, less than 2 minutes drive from the president's house, and he knew I was here in Liberia. But I was scared to even go visit with him, Stanton, because of all the horrible things they were feeding to the old man about me. A man who had served this man diligently for so many years. This is the man I cooked for. I drove for him. I love this man, Stanton. I love this man deeply. How could I be a harm or a threat to this man? But they said those things, Stanton. When people accuse you of planning to kill somebody, Stanton, you got to be careful. You got to withdraw. And those were the things that scared us, that made us withdraw, Stanton.
The JMB
permit were lobbying, Stanton. People were lobbying. People were actually lobbying for different people of their interest, But looking back at it, Stanton, I truly believe that had JMB picked Henry Costa, if those who were lobbying convinced him to pick me, I don't think, and this is not to put myself down, but looking at the political matrix, the electoral map, I don't think JMB would be president today. And I'll tell you why. Because Georgia had the Southeast lockdown. JMB needed Nimba to offset the Southeast. He needed to. If JMB did not have Jeremiah Kuhn and Prince Johnson, JMB would probably not be president today. So it was a strategic decision he made. I want to be fair. If he had picked me, his favorite nephew or one of his favorite nephews, we're probably going to run. We're going to almost certainly lose. So I think looking back at it, it was a strategic decision, great political calculation that went into that to pick Jeremiah Kuhn. And that doesn't mean I'm putting myself down. But the votes from Nimba were enough to offset the votes from the Southeast, Stanton. You know the matrix. And so it was a good decision, a brilliant decision JMB made to pick Jeremiah Kuhn. He didn't pick Kuhn because in metaphors. He was speaking in metaphors. He said, we have to win, Stanton. Shakespeare said, all is well that ends well, Stanton. Not how it started. We started a great fight. We fought for many years. All of that would have been in vain if JMB had not won the presidency. Our issue was not who he picked. It was the rift that people caused between us. Even today, there are people who don't want me close with JMB. And JMB knows it. So it's always been there. But JMB as an individual, is a decent human being, good person. He doesn't hold grudges. He has no bone of malice in his body. So our issue was never with him. That is why I felt my reaction after we left was horrible and was unacceptable. Because personally, JMB did not do any harm to me.
Let us talk about your party leader. We're done with the JMB issue. You have made your peace with Omer JMB. Fine. I love it, to tell you the truth, right? I can't do without JMB myself, but I will still beat on him when the government is messing up. Let's talk about George Weah. Did you deceive George Weah, the CDC government? Were you in it with all your heart, your mind, your soul? I mean, immediately after the election, Costa, you came back beating on CDC again. Why?
Absolutely not, Stanton. The relationship with me and Joya was like a relationship with a woman she loves her man very much so. She craves his attention, his love, his affection in return. But when he doesn't seem to give her that, she flirts with another man in order to make her man jealous. And that man with whom she flirts deceives himself, deludes himself into believing that woman actually likes him. But it's not true. She's faking. The moment her man shows her attention and shows her appreciation, she's gonna go running back into his arms. That was the case with me and Josh. I was just bitter and I was hurt, and it was not fair to CDC. It shouldn't have dragged me into that, Stanton, because look, you don't start a new relationship when you're still hurt, Stanton. You only go in there with all that toxicity. All I went to CDC with was a pile of toxicity. I didn't help them. In 2 weeks, what could I do? 5, 6 years fighting the people. Could I undo what I did in 2 weeks? Absolutely not. Only a complete bozo would think that I could undo it.
Are you seriously saying this about Joey and CDC? I mean, what you just said, you were just trying to find that comfort zone, because in reality, that's how people saw it, though. You were hurt. You were hurt. You needed to lay back somewhere. We saw the bench service, the cap aside. You guys were in the car. You guys were doing cutthroat, no blood, one round. You say all this thing and all the video, it was that because you were hurt, you needed to go back home.
Stanton, you are a married man, so this advice is no good to you. But I will say this to all the married men and married women out there. Do not enter a new relationship when you are still hurting and you crave the love of your old relationship. That was the case because the new relationship is only going to get hurt. That's it.
So now we know the truth.